So Wakenya wenzangu, Professor Kithure Kindiki ametengeneza 150 million in a span of 2 years peke yake. Leo amekuwa kwa bunge na amesema kwamba net worth yake, ukiangalia ama ukisikiza zile video zilitoka kwa bunge, ni kwamba net worth yake ni 694 million ikilinganishwa na ya 2022 wakati alikuwa anaingia kwa cabinet mara ya kwanza alikuwa na 544 million. So ukiangalia difference 694 minus 544 utapata 150 million. This is the amount of money that he has made within only 2 years. And so Wakenya wamekuwa wakiongea sana wakijiuliza, how did Kithure Kindiki make all that money within 2 years? Because the question is, Kindiki in his lifetime, I don't know how old the man is, lakini in his lifetime until 2022 when he was becoming first the cabinet secretary alikuwa na 544. In his lifetime alikuwa ametengeneza 544, but wakati ameingia kwa serikali 2 years zimetosha ishoot to 694 million. Okay, Kindiki amechukua time yake ya kujibu how he made the 150 million, and this is the video according to what he told the parliament.
After all those many years of working, your wealth was at 544 million. Now, 2 years later, your wealth now is at 694 million. That is a whopping 150 million shillings more. Maybe you could explain to us, is this increase probably related to the office that you hold? It would be important for us to know.
I have also been asked about my wealth, which has increased from 544 million to 694 million. It is true because, first, let me start by saying that I have not benefited from any improper business. I have not done any business with government. Let's start from there. I have not applied for any tender by myself, by proxy, by relative, or by anybody. Mr. Speaker, before I was appointed, my wealth was at 544 million. I said at that time, which I still do now, that I have run a business, which today I do not participate in that business. I don't practice law, but my law firm is alive and working, and much of that revenue has actually come through the revenue from my law firm, which is still active but being managed by other people. I think all my salary and allowances have been spent in paying bills. None of my money has come from the public except the salary and the allowances that I'm entitled to.
Okay, so according to Kindiki, as long as he did not do any business with the government, he thinks his money is clean and he should not be questioned about how that money becomes what it is. Anyway, he can remember that he has houses worth whatever money that he said, he has land, he has a law firm that gives him whatever the money that he's talking about. But I want us to have this discussion in a different angle. There's a difference on how, as Kenyans, the people who vote for leaders understand what leadership is or what electing someone means, and how those who we elect understand when we tell them go to parliament and go represent us. If you read the Constitution, Article 1, huwa munaambiwa, and this is what your politicians gaslight you. They tell you that all sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya. And that is true. You have been given that power by the Constitution. Article 1, Clause 1, the very first clause of the Constitution gives you all sovereign power. But the second clause gives you an option to either enjoy or exercise that power directly or have representatives. And so, because it was a choice, we as Kenyans decided that you want to exercise that power through democratically elected leaders, and that's why we go to elections. I don't know whether when we go to election, people know that they are donating power to whoever people that we are electing. See, I don't know whether we have that capacity to understand that. Because Clause 3 also says that of the same constitution, or Article 1 of the constitution, says that the sovereign power is delegated to 3 arms of government: the executive, the parliament, and the judiciary. The parliament ni National Assembly na Senate. So the intention of the writers of the constitution when they gave us election is such that these members of parliament should go and represent us. Lakini wao wakifika huko inakuanga more of enriching themselves, more of creating wealth for themselves than representing people or than saying what the people really are saying. Because the reason why the Gen Zs today are on the road is because the government is not doing what it is supposed to be doing. So this is the question we should be asking ourselves. Why is the government system or the political system in Kenya failing us? Now the fact that over his lifetime Kithure Kindiki alikuwa na 500 million, 544, and between yeye kuingia kwa serikali na miaka 2 baadaye ametoka hapo akiwa increase wealth yake by more than half, is something that needs to raise questions to Kenyans. Because, and this is my opinion of why it has to shoot that much, these politicians came to us since 2017. President William Ruto na wale ambao walimsaidia, most of whom he appointed in the cabinet, walikuja kwetu between 2017 and 2022. Every week walikuwa wanachanga tu kwa makanisa na hatuko tunawauliza, wanachanga mamilioni. Unasikia Ruto ameenda kwa kanisa ametoa 10 million. By the time anamaliza kufanya campaign na anakuwa elected, ametumia karibu 1 billion. So why do you think that Ruto anapigana ama anafanya hiyo campaign for all those years so that aingie kwa president and then sit back and listen to what you have to tell him on how to govern? One, you did not you did not question the money that he was using to buy your votes, because that was buying your votes. And instead of you delegating the power to him, you sold the power to him. Because you looked at zile pesa anatoa kwa kanisa, zile pesa our politicians wanakupatia as a person ukiwa kama gunu wao. So you elected them because wanajua kutoa, without knowing that you sold that sovereignty to them. Now, I don't want to go into details of how they complain, because I'm not here to speak about Ruto or speak about politics of how people get into power. I'm just asking, how then do we expect that after these parliamentarians or these elected representatives buy this sovereignty, how do we expect them to go to parliament and represent or say what the people want to hear? How do we expect them the political systems in Kenya to work, yet instead of delegating power, we sell our sovereignty? See, hakuna mtu hata mmoja ambaye anaanzanga biashara ndio aende hasara. Wewe kama mfanya biashara, whether unauza mahindi ama unauza kuku ama uko na kampuni kubwa kama ya unga ama unauza maziwa ama unauza nini, you cannot invest your money in a business where you know that you will incur losses. You put your money where you know you will get profit. Why is it so difficult for people to understand that these politicians put their money in politics? Because they know in politics watapata biashara na watajirudisha hizo pesa once they get into power. I'm not expecting Kithure Kindiki to explain to us how he got 150 million in a span of 2 years when he could not make that money in his lifetime. But I'm just saying that though hawataongea, we all know that politicians, after they get to power, with the way we elect them, the focus is not delivery to the people, is not service delivery to the people. It is not about good governance or bad governance. It is everything to do with how do I get the money that I invested during the campaign. And so this is very important for Kenyans to understand, especially the Gen Zs who are raising against the government and saying Ruto must go, who must go, who must go, and for which the culmination is the government uniting with the opposition so that they can fight together and leave the Gen Z and the people of Kenya on a different corner, which means it is very difficult to win this battle, because I don't think, if not a coup, we can never win this battle. It is a wake-up call for you to change the way you elect your leaders. It is a wake-up call for you to start looking at your leaders based on their qualification and not what they give to us. Because the moment we look at their pocket when they get back to power, the focus is how do they get back the money than how do they provide services to the people of Kenya. I hope this sinks into your mind. However, this is my opinion. If you're here for the first time, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and remember to leave a comment about this video. If you're watching this video from a different platform like TikTok, Facebook, or any other platform, kindly head on to YouTube, search for Kim Explains, subscribe, and leave a comment to whatever video that you're going to watch. Have a nice time. Salute.